Hi everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Reckelhaus from The Widow Reckelhaus and Threshold of Hineni. I'm going to do something a little different today that I actually should have done earlier, but I just didn't even think about it. Since this is a beginner video, I really wanted to show you each step of the way, and there was something that I just did naturally without thinking about it, and that's shopping my craft room. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did before I really got started on this journal. So sometimes I do this when I just have my paper before I even make it into pages and put the edging on. But I've kind of learned that it's best to do it after I've chosen all my pages and I've got the edging on, but before I start making ephemera or pockets or decorating any of the pages or anything. And what I do is I just go all the way through my craft room and I look at ribbon and yarn and note cards and just anything else that I think will go with the look that I'm wanting on this. Now I don't have as many like old papers, music papers, papers from books and stuff like that in this one because I really wanted to stick with mainly the pages that were in the paper pad because I want this one to be super coordinated. It's shabby chic, but it's not, it's just more coordinated than what I normally do. So I don't have a lot of those kinds of papers. I have this little notepad from Jim Holtz. It was on, from Tim Holtz. It was on like a super good sale at Hobby Lobby. And it's got all these cute little sayings in it. And so we're going to be using this throughout to decorate. And then I also, I tore out a couple pages from a book because there are some black pages in this journal, pages that have black and stuff. And so I thought that this would be good for on the opposite pages to kind of tie it together. And then I also had a coloring book that a friend gave me. It's frozen. And you know, there are some pictures that aren't appropriate for my journals. Well, that's not appropriate on both sides, but some of them are appropriate on one side and not on the other and stuff. And so there really is quite a bit that I can get out of that. And so I'm going to use, I tore out a couple pages to use from that. This one is, you know, like mainly white, but it's got black design. And I didn't want things that look too wintry. And then this, obviously, I won't use because it's got the girls from Frozen. I've never seen the movie, so I don't know their names. I think it's like Elsa and something. And then I had one that's mostly black, and on the other side it's also got a good design. So I'll probably use that in here. And this is kind of heavy paper like the paper that's in the journal. Okay, then I had this book from the Dollar Tree, and it's got a lot of stuff that's the same colors as the journal. So I thought it would fit in really nicely. I could choose like a couple pages to use as pockets or something. All right, so I've got those. And then I have paper clips. Sometimes I use paper clips, sometimes I don't. And this one I probably will. And these three colors would all go really, really well with this. Okay, so those are some of the things. And then I knew that I wanted to use an edge punch, which I'm going to show you exactly how to use that. And some yarn of my husband's. He was a knitter, and so this is like, he's already wound this together, so it's like 4 strands together to knit a sweater. He was a sweater knitter for most of his life, and he retired just a couple months before he died. One of the things that he gave me was a whole bunch of buttons, and they're in these tubes. So these are the ones that I've chosen to go with this journal. Okay, and then I take a basket around and I limit myself to one basket this size, which is sometimes really hard. But if I use too many, then it doesn't all kind of work together very well because you want to use each thing at least twice. All right, so I'll go through what I have here. I have some different kinds of ribbons, like this is really like gauzy see-through ribbon, and I have some peach that's like that too. I don't have any pink. I have some grosgrain ribbon, and I've got that in pink and in green. I have another green of that gauzy ribbon. I have these two that are, what do you call them? Burlap. So I have a pink burlap and a green burlap. Is that on the screen? Yeah, it is. These have wire in the sides, and I'm going to show you how to take the wire out really, really easily when you use it. I don't want to do too much with black, but I do have some black in the book, so I have some black ribbon, really thin ribbon. Oh gosh, this I got at Hobby Lobby. Isn't that beautiful? It's really, really pretty. And so I will use that in a couple places. This a friend gave to me. She gave me a whole bunch of like pink and white different kinds of ribbons, and so I thought this would be just perfect for this. And I have some of this that came in a set that I ordered from Amazon. I'll try to remember to put a link in below, but it had like, I don't know, 12 or 20 or something different colors of lace, and I usually cut these right down the middle because this is too wide. Sometimes I do use that whole width, but usually I cut it down the middle, so it's like double the amount that I bought basically. And then I have some really pale thin ribbon, and I'll use these for decorating things, but I'll also use them for like tags, you know, for the pull for the tabs. And then I have this glittery pink ribbon and some pink yarn that was on a spool, and this peach gauzy ribbon. Okay, and then the other things that I have that are really cool, I have these buttons from China, so I'll probably want to use those, as well as the buttons that I got from my husband's stash. And then I have these, which I'll show you all of them in a different one. And I also have a review of this on my other channel, because I used to have, my other channel used to be both crafting and Bible stuff, and that was just confusing for people. So I separated them recently, and so I still have a lot of my crafting videos on the other channel, and you might want to check that out. I'll link it below, but I'll especially link the review that I did of this so you can see all the really cool things that she has. This is from a shop on Etsy called All Fibered Up, and this particular collection is called Petals in Spring, and I bought, I don't know, 4 or 6 collections from her. I love it. So that's what I have shopped from my craft room, and I pretty much try to stick with what I've gotten out, because like I said, if you have too many things going on, it just doesn't fit all together well. So I like to have just, you know, things that I can use at least a couple times throughout the book. Oh, I also have these white paint pens, which I might use a little bit on some of the black. I'm not sure. So we'll see. Oh, here's what the burlap stuff looks like. So you can just kind of see this. I've already taken the wire out, but I'll show you how to take the wire out. I'm also going to show you, did I already say this? I'm going to show you how to use an edge pincher, and we'll use it at least a couple different ways, but probably more ways than that. They're just really fun to use. And then I also have, I'll show you these later because I don't get these out until I'm ready to finish up the book. But I have all my bookbinding stuff together, and I'll show you how I do that when we get to that point. And then at the very end, what I do is I have little tiny safety pins that don't have the little round part, and I use those for hanging little charms from the side. So I'll show you those when we get to that part too. But I don't shop those from my craft room ahead of time. This is pretty much all I get. If I'm doing something that's more not as coordinated as what I'm doing here, then I have like postage stamps, used postage stamps that I'll use, and different scraps of paper. Sometimes things like this. Sometimes like little cards like this. Oh, I'm saving. I'm saving chocolate things right now because I want to do a chocolate themed journal at some point. I have lots of different things, but you know, the things that I shop are different for each one. Also, if I'm doing it a little bit less coordinated, I might look for scraps from other journals that I've done that would also go with it. So those are just some ideas. I'll try to remember from now on to show you like how I shop for each journal ahead of time. I'm not sure if I'll remember, but I'll try to remember because I think that's helpful to see. All right, so it just helps if you have all that stuff ready. I keep it here at my desk, and it's just all at, you know, I can reach it really easily, and everything that I'm going to need. And of course, I always keep some glue, and I keep some glue stick. Oh, here it is. Can you find it? There we go. I always keep those handy, and my sewing machine, and whatever thread I'm going to use. I usually use just one color of thread all the way through, and I either use one that coordinates or contrasts with it, kind of just depending on the look that I'm doing. So this one I'm using black because I wanted a little bit more contrast, but there is black in the book, so it goes with it. So anyway, that's it. If you have any questions about this, because like I've never seen anybody do a video on like how they get ready. So if you have any questions, let me know and I will be happy to answer those either in the comments below or in a separate video. All right, I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.